Or a gag? Oh, it's a gag.
No, it's a nurse shark.
Oh, it's a Gumby.
Come on, man.
Catching Gumby?
I'm trying to catch this.
Tony, Gumby.
Burr, 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 burr.
Still thumping.
Jump a shrimp. Coming up. Look at that. There you go. Another hog.
Nice hog. Now I gotta get up.
Oh, he gonna keep.
Yeah,
I was just trying to figure out if he was gonna beat your big one.
Probably would. It's a good one. Uh-oh, doubled up. Mangrove. How did I lose? No, I didn't lose it. This is a snapper.
Cat ran halfway to the boat.
Yeah.
Got up to it. Coming to the box no matter what.
I'm gonna jump in the box.
You got somebody. Nice. Tony's starting to call us fish. I don't know how serious he is. Not a mangrove? Come on, Tony! It's a grunt.
Hey, listen, they'll never know.
No, they do, because that camera's showing it right there. Oh, Lordy. Tony thought he was getting away with it.
They'll never know.
Deception.
Tony, this is where you say, Ernie, don't lose it. Think you moved the net? That's a hog?
Yeah, I was going to say, if that's a hog, that's a good hog. Color. Is it a big mango? That's what he's looking like. Oh!
Oh, big
corgi.
That's like that one Chad caught that time.
Freaking stud, bro. Hey, get my pocket knife. Go post that recording.
Turn into red grouper.
Think? No.
No, it's a hog.
Yeah, it is. Big one.
Flip them in.
Flip them in.
Oh, Tony. I did, bro. The camera. I did. Trust me. That he was on it both twice.
Uh-oh. Now Ernie's on. Start recording.
I got the red group. Oh my god.
Oh!
Use that freaking camera. Like that line.
That was a big old hog. Big hog.
Whoa! We all gonna get beeped on that one.
You just threw up his liver.
Wow! Good job, Chad. Now, folks, today Chad has been challenged today.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Chad has been losing fish left and right, getting broken off. He just had an eye repaired on his rod. Well, I guess Tony, did you take the rod?
Tony took it in.
Tony took it in. So Chad said some of the scales that were permanent on his rod are now gone. And nice. So needless to say, when Chad's been breaking off, losing fish, just not getting hooks at him, he started blaming Tony. And he's threatening to kick Tony's butt.
Some things don't change.
So Chad just now put that nice hog in the boat.
Maybe you'll start smiling now instead of...
He never...
He's already smiling.
He never smiles. What are you talking about? It's Chad.
I was just thinking as he was reeling that one up, if that comes off, I'm getting out the way. That would have been wise. Not really wise. I get that. Damn. Good.
Just got 8.
That was a haul too. I seen that rod about.
You know how tough it's going to be to ride an hour home with him today? You may have to get an Uber. Or ride in the back. That's a nice porgy.
Come on. Folks, if you don't think shark predation is not an issue, it's an issue. But they think that we're overfishing these fish. You can't even get these fish up. And it's just, we've lost so many fish to sharks today. We move and move and move, and especially this last spot, they've been really bad. No matter how fast you turn the handle, Randall. Ooh, there's a good hog. Oh!
That was a hog.
Ah!
Red grouper? Mangrove. Look like. Oh. Coming back. There ain't this one right here. There he is.
Yeah, something just ate mine.
Ran with that hog.
I had a big snapper too.
Oh, look at that head. Oh, he's eating red grouper, thank God. So we don't have to, we'll be closing them down. Sorry.
You don't think that's it? High stick. You'll break your rod. Folks, if you don't think shark predation is not an issue, it's an issue. But they think that we're overfishing these fish. You can't even get these fish up. Well, folks, we had a fun day in the water. We had, as you saw, we had Dirty Ernie, we had Katie, we had Tony, Bucket Man, Eye Candy. Caught a lot of hogfish. What did we end up with? 13 hogfish, 10 mangrove snapper, some yellowtail snapper, some strawberry grouper. We lost a lot of fish towards the end of the day to sharks. As you saw in the underwater video, there were sharks in the area, and we couldn't get fish past them, and we lost some nice hogfish. Ernie lost one really good hogfish to a shark. But we're gonna we're going to go through some things. I'm not going to end the video here. I'm going to talk about some of the tackle we use and our gear, because we get a lot of questions about that. So I'm going to go through the gear, go through the tackle, and everything else that we like to use. Matter of fact, one of our friends, Chris Green, from the last episode that you saw, he was so impressed with how we were catching fish on the jigs compared to the fish finder rigs, is actually he came in and bought a bunch of jigs from us. So if you don't use jigs, you might want to think about it, look into it, because it does change the game a little bit. I'm not saying that they'll kill the knocker rig or the fish finder rig all the time, but it seems like everybody that's gotten our boat that fishes the fish finder rig or knocker rig, we outfish them quite a bit, especially with the lighter line also. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the tackle portion of this, and then I'll end the video there. Thanks for watching. It was a fun day. We actually did not start filming until the afternoon, because I knew the morning bite was but the afternoon bite was really good, because we're on a full moon right now, so that afternoon bite usually is the best bite. So let's go ahead and get into the gear talk for today's episode. Well, folks, like I said in the video, I was going to talk about some of the gear that we were using, because we get questions about that all the time. You know, people asking, what gear are you using? What's your favorite rod? What's your favorite reel? And so everybody's got their own little thing of what they like to use. Chad has been a huge fan of the Boca, the Quantum Bocas, which they do not make any longer. That's his reel. It's a size 40 reel. He loves that reel. He'll do anything he can to find one and buy one online. And if one does break, he gets it fixed. We also both of us used our custom rods from Scott Fletcher Custom Rods. You can go to his Facebook page and contact him. He makes great rods. We've been using his rods now for a few years, and we really abuse them hard. And we haven't broke one, knock on wood. They've been awesome for us. I also use, when I'm doing a lot of my light stuff, I also use a Redbone 8-foot medium heavy action rod. And the reason why I use 8 foot is because it's easier for me to count off my line when I'm counting off. If I'm in 80 feet, I know I can count off 10 pulls of the rod, because I'm doing 8 feet at a time. So it's easier for me to judge when I'm fishing for snapper and fish like that up in the upper water column. I like to use that Redbone to be able to count off, you know, my poles, so I know exactly where I'm at in the water column. Because when you figure out the bite and where they're at, that's the key thing. So that was what we were using on this day. We always use 10-pound braided line. Our braided line from TBFC. We use our fluorocarbon. Chad very rarely goes up, and when he does, it's usually for when he's leaving the rod in the rod holder. Other than that, we use 20-pound leader almost exclusively. And there's been so many people that have gotten on the boat, and they're like, oh, I get so frustrated using 20-pound and get broke off, but you're going to get more bites by doing that. So 20-pound leader, 10-pound braided line, because it doesn't allow that bow in the line as much. When I was sending down my big boy rod, I have 20-pound fluorocarbon straight on that one, and it's amazing how much loop there is in that line when it's going down, because that tide is dragging it out. So always remember that it's not the braid that breaks, it's the actual leader. So as you saw in this video, we had a great day with hogfish. We would have caught a lot more, but the sharks, as you'll see in the underwater, as you saw in the underwater video, there was actually 2 of them. I didn't even show the second one because they were both together at one point, but they were just creating all kinds of havoc at the last spot they were fishing. We were hooking hogfish left and right, and we couldn't get them up. And that's just the way it is. And they talk about how they're trying to scientifically look at predation from sharks, and I can tell you right now that there's guys that I've known that have been fishing offshore for 30-40 years, and they've never seen it this bad. So when you start regulating fish like that, of course they make a comeback. And but the problem is that they're eating the fish that we're trying to catch when we're catching them, so it does cause an issue. But anyway, that's the breakdown of the gear that we use. I want to say thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Oh, by the way, the predominant jig that we like to use is the Huggy jig when we're fishing for hogfish, because as you'll see, hogfish like to stand on their tails, or on their heads actually, stand on their heads and root into the bottom. So the way that jig sits on the bottom, it seems to do very, very well for us. Chad's favorite is his gold digger, and so that works extremely well. Again, just want to say thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. Things are really happening quick here at the shop. We're preparing for December 1st to open up the bait aspect of the shop. We're changing a lot of things here, so it's going to be almost like a destination for you guys to come to. Like I said, we're going to be offering live shrimp, pinfish. We're going to see if we can keep whitebait alive. We're also going to have ice. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have snacks. So it's going to be a one-stop shop. Unfortunately, we're not going to do fuel because the permits and everything else to do it right here is just, no. We might carry beer, not sure yet. My business partner that's coming in on this does have a liquor license, so we have talked about that, but not quite sure. But we are definitely going to have water, Gatorade, and Cokes, and then chips and beef jerky for snacks and boiled peanuts and stuff like that. So thank you again for watching. We really appreciate it. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.